senator thinks he's a whack job, right? You have to make deals. You have to get along. That's the purpose of what our founders created. And Ted cannot get along with anybody. He's a nasty person. You don't see that. And even when he was supportive of me, I kept saying, watch what's going to happen. He's a nasty guy. And he brought it up at the debate. He started it. I finished it. But he brought it, he started getting very bad at the debate. And then he tells lies. He said, I knocked down some woman's home. He's got bulldozers. I never knocked down her home. She didn't want it. And the word's eminent domain. You wouldn't have roads. You wouldn't have airports. You wouldn't have hospitals. You wouldn't have schools. You have to have eminent domain. By the way, the Keystone Pipeline is all based on eminent domain. You wouldn't move that thing 10 feet without taking that land on which it sits. And by the way, all those people get paid a lot of money. It's not like they take it. They take it and pay a lot of money. But he makes a big deal out of eminent domain. You wouldn't have a country. You wouldn't have one highway in this country if you didn't have. You wouldn't have a railroad. You wouldn't have anything. So they make it eminent domain because most people don't know what it is. Then they have me taking a woman's house. I never took the woman's house. I never knocked down anybody's house. But they show a bulldozer knocking down a house. It's really false stuff.
You have very loyal supporters.
I do.
In fact, I think you were joking, but you said it's getting a lot of buzz. You said you could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody. That wouldn't affect the support you're getting from your supporters.
Well, you don't think I was joking. You know I was joking. Of course I was joking. And the whole room was laughing, and I was laughing when I said it.
Because you had some criticism.
Well, no, from dishonest press. They said, he said something. When they show me, I'm laughing, they're laughing, everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time. Of course I'm joking. You know that. But, and the purpose of that is to say that people love me. They want to stay with me. They're loyal. They're tired of seeing our country being pushed around and led by people that are stupid people. They're tired of it, Wolf. We're tired of the Iran deals. We're tired of the Sergeant Bergdahl deals, where we get a traitor and they get 5 of their killers that they've wanted for years. They're tired of dealing like this. We can't take it anymore. And people are looking at it, and they're looking at me, and they have confidence in me. I built a great, great company, and I'm going to use that talent now to do it for the United States.
Another New Yorker who's built a great company is Michael Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York City. He's now toying with the idea of running as a third-party independent. If he were to do so, could you beat him?
I beat him, and I would love him to do it, actually. I love the competition. I love the competition. I would love for Michael to do it. We used to be friends. I guess we're not friends anymore. I don't think we are. But we used to be friends. Good friends. When I had a problem, he had a big problem in the Bronx. I cleared up the problem. There was a big project they were unable to get it built. It was under construction for like 25 years, way over budget. I took it over, I got it knocked up in 1 year, and now it's a tremendous success. Michael asked me if I'd get involved in it, and I'm the one that got it done and did a great job.
Well, it could be competitive.
I hope he's going to do it. I don't know that he is. There's a lot of
rumors that he might do it. You've listed your net worth as about $10 billion. Forbes says, we just checked, at $36.5 billion for Michael Bloomberg.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
You don't think he's worth it?
It's a technology company. If somebody came in, frankly, and comes up with a better machine than him, people stop using it.
What do you think he's worth?
I don't even know why. I have no idea. I don't even know why other companies haven't come up with a better machine. Why? It's so simple. They come up in such a competitive world, but for some reason, they haven't come up with a machine. I don't know. Maybe because he was the mayor of New York. I don't know. But they haven't come up, and it's so easy to do, you would think. So I think it's very fragile. I like real estate better.
If he says he's ready to spend $1 billion of his own money to be elected president, are you ready to match him dollar for dollar?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to run, actually, but I may be wrong, but I don't think he's going to run.
Why don't you think he might run?
I'm the only, so far, if he comes in, he'd self-fund. I'm the only person self-funding. Everyone else, Ted Cruz is totally conditioned down to the oil companies. The oil companies control him and others. You look at Jeb Bush, poor Jeb. Here's a guy spent $100 and some odd million already, and he's almost last. What he's done to the Bush family, and he doesn't even want to use the Bush name. He's ashamed of the Bush name. What Jeb Bush has done to the Bush family is very sad. Then he brings out his mother. I said, Jeb, your mother can't help you with ISIS. She can't help you with China. She can't help you with these people, Jeb. You got to do it yourself. But here's a guy who spends over $100 million and he's nowhere. I think he's disgraced himself, to be honest with you. But you have all these people, whether it's Jeb or Hillary or anybody, they're all controlled by the people that give them the money. I'm putting up my own money. I'm self-funding, which is very nice.
You've called Bernie Sanders a total whack job. You've said you don't know if Hillary Clinton will make it legally. Who would you rather face in a general election contest?
I don't care. Really, I don't even focus on them. I only focused on Hillary for a couple of days last week, as you saw. I don't even think about Hillary, and I don't think about Bernie Sanders. The first thing I have to do is, we had 17, now we're down to about 12 or 13. I got to get rid of them. I got to win against them. A lot of them I like. They're good people. There's some very good people in that group. I mean it. Really good people. And people that have become friends of mine. You don't see that because you won't report on that stuff. It's more, the conflicts are more fun, right? But I can't tell you really who I'd rather have. I give it a lot of thought, actually, believe it or not. But I don't think it matters. I can say this, I will win. I'll bring in states that nobody ever thought of. I think I have a chance to win New York. I defended New York. Nobody else was going to defend New York last debate and got good credit for it. But the people in New York love that I defended them because nobody ever defends New Yorkers, right? I'm going to win Pennsylvania. I'm going to win West Virginia. I'm going to win Virginia. I'm going to win Michigan because I protect the car industry. Nobody else protects it.
Do you think you have this Republican nomination in the bag?
No, I think that I have a good chance. I mean, look, I'm leading in all the polls. Iowa is very important to me. I should say to you, well, I'd like to do well in Iowa. I don't want to do that. I'd love to win Iowa. If I don't win it, I don't win it. I go to New Hampshire where I have a very big lead, and the people up there have been unbelievably good to me. But Iowa is very important to me, and I have a great bond with Iowa, and I'm going to keep Iowa where it is. There's a big move to move Iowa to the back of the pack in the next election cycle. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let that happen. I have a great bond. You look at a guy like Cruz. He came out totally opposed to ethanol. Well, that affects many, many farmers and many, many jobs in the state of Iowa. If I was in Iowa and somebody said I'm opposed to ethanol, I would absolutely not vote for him. And then the governor came out and said, you should not vote for him. I mean, they pointed. He said, it wasn't like vote for somebody. I've never even seen that. Don't vote for this guy. He's really bad for Iowa. So I think that, I'm going to do well in Iowa. I bonded with the people. I bonded with the evangelicals. I bonded with the Tea Party and the people of Iowa.
Before Iowa, there's a Republican debate Thursday night. Fox is hosting that debate. You and Megyn Kelly have had issues. She's one of the moderators. Are you going to be at that Fox debate?
Well, probably. I mean, I don't like her. She doesn't treat me fairly. I'm not a big fan of hers at all. I don't care. I mean, she probably I might be the best thing that ever happened to her. I don't know, because whoever even heard of her before the last debate. But I thought she was very unfair in the last debate. A lot of people said I won that debate. Everybody said I won the last debate. But I'm not a fan of Megyn Kelly. I don't like her. She probably doesn't like me, and that's okay. But she better be fair. I'd like to go to the debate. I enjoy the debates. I've done well in the debates. Every single poll has said I've won every debate. But we're going to see what happens. It's going to be exciting.
When you say probably, you haven't 100% decided you will be
nothing to 100%. Why not? I'm not 100%. I'll see. If I think I'm going to be treated unfairly, I do something else. But I don't think she can treat me fairly, actually. I think she's very biased, and I don't think she can treat me fairly. But that doesn't mean I don't do the debate. I like doing the debates. I've won every single debate. According to every poll, I've won every single debate. I think the debates have been good. After the last debate, I went up 11 points in the poll. I went up 11 points right after the debate. The poll came out. I went up 11 points because of the debate. So I want to do the debates. They're good for me, but I don't think she can treat me fairly, and I'm not a big fan of hers. Maybe I know too much about her.
You and I have been doing interviews for at least a decade. You've changed your position on some issues, but on certain national security issues, you've been remarkably consistent.
It's true.
And I want to get specific with you on what you would do if you were elected president. This is October 2008. This is what you said about Iraq.
Hey, look, it wasn't Saddam Hussein that attacked the World Trade Center, okay? In fact, those people, when they sent their families back, most of them went back to Saudi Arabia. It wasn't Saddam Hussein that took down the World Trade Center. And in fact, Saddam Hussein killed terrorists. They had very few terrorists because he didn't want terrorists in Iraq, and he killed terrorists. So we go and attack Saddam Hussein. Now, Iraq now is the #1 breeding ground for terrorists. All the terrorists go to Iraq to learn their trade. We all have trades, right? And they go to Iraq. But you didn't have that when Saddam Hussein was running Iraq with an iron fist. Now you do. Now, we took out Saddam Hussein. What have we created? A mess. And the day we leave Iraq, it's going to be, forget it. And there's not one word in that I would change. Not even a word. And I also said, if you went on, or I said to other people at the time, that Iran will take over Iraq. And look, it's going to happen. Just like you're sitting there, Iran will take over Iraq.
Well, Iran's influence in Iraq has grown enormously.
It's not influence. They're going to take it over. It's just a question of time. They'll just take it over. They've taken over.
So what would you do?
We gave them $150 million.
If you were president, On January 20th, 2017, you're